In this triad exercise, we are given 11 salaries and we're asked to calculate the interquartile range, the IQR, and determine if any salaries are outliers. So I went ahead and the listed salaries are as shown here, 33,000, 64,500, so on and so forth. The first step when we're dealing with quartiles or the 5-number summary in general, for that matter, any part of it, we're going to want to list the items in ascending order. So I went ahead and listed those given salaries in ascending order here: 28,000, 33,000, 40,500, so on and so forth, all the way up to 120,000. So we first want to identify the median. Since there are 11 values, we want the 6th value. That gives us 5 on each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means this right here is the median, or quartile 2. Now we want to look at the upper 5. Quartile 3 is going to be the middle value of the upper half, not including the median. And quartile 1 will be the middle of the lower half. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values below the median. The third value will be in the middle. So quartile 1 is $40,500. Same thing on the upper half, 1, 2, 3. That gives us $69,000 as quartile 3, our third quartile, which is the third value from either direction of the upper half of the values, or the upper values above the median. So now we've determined our quartiles, and our interquartile range is simply the difference of our quartiles. That equals Q3 minus Q1, which equals 69,000 minus 40,500, which equals 28,500. So there's our interquartile range, $28,500. Now, how do we determine if any values are outliers? Well, we look for our low and high fences, and those are the values that fall at 1.5 times the IQR below the first quartile or above the third quartile. So let's look at our low fence first. Low fence, that equals quartile 1 minus 1.5 times the IQR, the interquartile range, Q3 minus Q1. So in this case, that equals 40,500, our first quartile, minus 1.5 times 28,500, which equals 40,500, minus 42,750. So that's actually a negative value, negative 2,250. We don't have any negative values in here, so we know we're not going to have a lower end outlier. So we'll check the high fence. Remember, that's the third quartile plus 1.5 times the IQR, which equals 40, or quartile 3 is 69,000 rather, 69,000 plus, we already know 1.5 times 28,500 is 42,750. So that equals $111,750. So of our values, now since we have them in ascending order, we just look at, are there any values that are greater than 111,750? 120,000. So $120,000 is an outlier. So again, line everything up in ascending order, find the median, then find the quartiles being the middles of what's left on both sides of the median. The interquartile range is the third quartile minus the first quartile. And then we look at 1.5 times that value, the IQR, below the first quartile or above the third quartile for the cutoffs of where anything below or above those values respectively would be outliers. And in this case, the only value that we have that is above our high fence is $120,000.